met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
One of America's newer racetracks, Iowa Speedway, is located in Newton, Iowa. It has been in operation since 2006. The 7/8 mile oval was designed and built under the auspice of NASCAR champion Rusty Wallace at a cost of approximately $70 million. The D-shaped oval is patterned after Richmond Raceway, the scene of some of Rusty's greatest successes during his career. Purchased by NASCAR in 2013, Iowa Speedway has a seating capacity of more than 30,000. Together with a unique multi-tiered RV viewing area along its 869-foot backstretch, the track hosts NASCAR Xfinity Series, Craftsman Trucks, ARCA Series events annually, along with the IndyCar Series and Firestone Indy Lights. And starting in 2024, the NASCAR Cup Series makes its debut at the track, giving truth to the saying, if you build it, they will come. It's the Howell Graphics Iowa Speedway 125, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Iowa Speedway for tonight's Howell Graphics Iowa Speedway 125, Howell Graphics Truck Series Lonestar Racing League. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, bringing you tonight's coverage. Let's take a look at the race details. 85-degree ambient temperature, 55% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 125 laps the race distance here tonight, and track temperature 116 degrees here this partly cloudy afternoon. Let's go down trackside as practice just about wrapped up here from the Speedway. We'll see where everybody's stacked up. Winker in the number 42, Kevin Winker, that is, fastest. His lap time 23:69 over Derek Welch at a 23:72. Welch going back out on the racetrack. Winker, I think, is in pit lane for the time being. Again, just under a minute and a half remain in the session. Now, very quickly, Chris Watkins goes P2, also with a 23:69. Watkins coming to pit lane after that hot lap. Good lap for the 5. Welch now third. Brett Guzik, he's fourth quick, sits in pit lane, as does Brant Morrow. Kevin Grettenberger is 6th. Snyder 7th. Blaze 8th. 9th. Beardmore and Jared Haynes rounding out the top 10 on the practice sheet. Welch practicing pit entry. Don't want to do it like that. Practice session comes to an end. We'll jump right into qualifying. See who takes to the track first. Looks like Brant Morrow first to pit lane, and he's going to be the first to roll here, the number 71. I don't know what it is. Every time I see that 71 on the side of that truck, I just think Dave Marcus. I know I'm dating myself here, but it is what it is. Green flag in the air for Morrow. Actually, lap one complete, 23.749. He sits atop of the board for now. Drew Blaze on his second lap. We'll see if he can pick it up. Blaze running the grayscale paint scheme tonight. 23.82. Lap one for Blaze. See what he gets here lap two. 23.889 doesn't pick up. Brandon Domain jumps to the second spot in the meantime. That was his second lap, was faster for Brandon, 23.802. Mitchell Howell on the track. 23.984 puts him top 10 for the time being. Tristan Sykes says, I hope Drew Blaze gets banned from iRacing tonight. .25 flat first lap for Derek Welch. Again, he was top 3 in the practice session. We'll see if he's got more. Oh, he's into the wall off turn 2. That's going to kill this second lap, I think. Does he stay in the throttle anyway? No, he's in the fence again, so that's going to wrap it for Derek Welch. Not the Q run he expected to have, or hoped to have for that matter. Heath Snyder, 24.085, his first lap, 13th quick. Let's see if he can improve. And he does. Big improvement. 23.857 moves Snyder well into the top 10 in P7. Watch Chris Watkins here. He's on his out lap. We're going to watch this, see if he can pick up the pole position here. He had a really quick time, just about matched. Oh, and he's loose, and he spins the truck out of turn 4, coming to the green. I think he's just going to reset here. I think he's really lucky in this case. He didn't get to the stripe. He may still have an opportunity for 2 laps. Well, let's watch it. We'll try this one again. It's got me nervous now. These guys are losing it in qualifying. Track temp being what it is, the rear end's going to be a little slippery. Track's going to be hot. Tires are going to get slick. They're going to get greasy. Slip and slide. .776 for Watkins on that first lap, puts him P3. Meanwhile, Winker maintaining the top spot. Watkins across the stripe, stays P3, doesn't improve his time on lap 2. Sean Roberts, 23.92 was the top 10. Let's see if he goes a little faster. 23.94. Close. Sykes, I can drive sideways as long as we're on pavement. Dan Storm finishing up here, 24.313. Tristan seems to think because I don't like dirt means I can't drive him sideways. We made it work at Long Beach in the late model. It was sideways every corner. Let's get a wrap-up qualifying. It looks like there's a couple of drivers that still haven't taken the time. Looks like Jarrett Woodard and Chris Goins. We're going to jump out and get a commercial break out of the way. And actually, no, it looks like we're done. So never mind the break. Jump right into our starting grid for tonight's Holographics Iowa Speedway 125. On the pole position with a lap time of 23.674, it's the number 42. Winker Nation's going to be happy about this one. It's Kevin Winker on the pole. Outside front row with ASR Racing, the number 71 of Brant Morrow. Chris Watkins, a quick time in practice, couldn't back it up in qualifying. He starts P3. Brandon Domain will start in the 4th position. Drew Blaze starts P5. Kevin Grettenberger will roll from the 6th spot. Timmy Stubblefield with Stubbs Racing, the number 92, starts in the 7th spot. Heath Snyder will roll from 8th. PJ Cox from Lonestar Racing will start in the 9th position. Sean Roberts will start 10th. Starting in the 11th position, it's Jared Haynes in the number 89. Brett Guzik, the 04, will start 12th. Brian Shepard, 13th. Mitchell Howell, the Warhawk Motorsports, doesn't have a good feeling about tonight, but not a halfway bad, decent qualifying run here tonight. The number 93 rolling 14th. Scott Beardmore, the 28 machine out of Pennsylvania, starts 15th. Ken Couch, 16th starter. Dan Storm is in the 17th spot. 18th goes to Derek Welch, the NTR 01. Watch for him to be quick tonight. Chris Goins didn't take a time in qualifying. He starts 19th. And last but not least, the 20th position out of Canada, it's the 79 of Jarrett Woodard. Your starting grid here from Iowa Speedway. Field working 1 of 2 pace laps before we take the green flag in just a moment. Once again, let's take a look at the race details for the Holographics Iowa Speedway 125. 125 laps, the race distance. Track temp coming up, actually 116 degrees, 85 degrees outside, 55% humidity, partly cloudy skies, and barely any breeze. It's going to be a warm one here today in Newton, Iowa. Drivers do have 3 change sets over the wall as far as tires are concerned, and a 45% fuel load to work with.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. We're racing from Iowa. First lap in the books. Winker maintains the top spot. We kept everybody out of the wall. That's a big thing. Drew Blaze already up 3 positions on the opening lap from 5th to 2nd. Some big movers throughout the pack. I think Tim Stubblefield was making a look to the inside on the 05 of PJ Cox as they work into turns 1 and 2. Stubblefield moves along up the top side. Now the 89 of Jared Haynes. Going to make a move, or thought about making a move for that matter. Brett Guzik in the 8th spot. He's up 4 positions already. Some of these guys, they're fast drivers. Just this isn't really the place for them. But Guzik taking advantage of the early laps here at Iowa Speedway and that initial start. Picks it up about 4 positions already, at least working on it for the time being. You still got Tim Stubblefield to the outside. Just ahead of them, it's Heath Snyder and PJ Cox. Cox in the 05, the top lane, that black and red machine. Snyder down low, the purple and white, number 29. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the race lead. Drew Blaze attacking on the 42 of Kevin Winker down into turns 3 and 4. Blaze to the bottom, Winker working the top side, trying to keep that momentum. Again, it's a great way to battle against the guy trying to take the spot. For now, it's working. Blaze definitely has the pace, but he's got to find a way to get to the bottom, complete the pass, and then get clear. And then I think Blaze can actually put some distance between himself and the 42. But again, you've got to get that pass done and cleanly and clear. Blaze to the bottom again off turn 4. He's clear now, but the run's still coming. You can't come up the racetrack and pull that slide job. I mean, you can, but it doesn't mean that Winker's going to lift. You certainly run the risk of getting pushed and then turned. Again, it's early in the race here. You don't want to be too aggressive with your moves. I think Blaze has the pace here. Still not quite clear. Oh, man, there was maybe an inch between those two trucks out of turn number 2 into the backstretch now 3 and 4. Again, this 7/8 mile oval, get around here in a hurry, less than 30 seconds, 24 seconds, the fast lap so far, and that's Drew Blaze now out at the front of the field. Winker starting to slip back a bit. He's now under attack from the 71 of Morrow as the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position has started to close in on the race leaders. Kevin Grettenberger also applying some pressure to the 71. It's going to provide a little bit of relief for Grant Morrow, or Kevin Winker for that matter, at this point, with the 71 being chased down and potentially under attack here from Kevin Grettenberger. Grettenberger still right to the back bumper. Grant Morrow in the 3rd spot. Love to get that Whataburger number 57 up into the top 3 as Winker gets a piece of the outside wall here into the front straightaway. Winker's going to slide up the track, may open the door for Grant Morrow. Second through 4th, pretty well grouped up. Grettenberger making a look to the outside on Morrow here. We'll see if he can make that pay. He's alongside enough that Morrow can't come up. Grettenberger is going to get a run out of the corner. Drag race down the backstretch. I think Grettenberger is going to have the pass here. Keep an eye on that, folks. Remember that for later on. That Grettenberger able to make that pass on the high side, going the long way around the 71. We saw that early on with Drew Blaze. Kevin Winker. Winker had the top lane. Blaze was still able to complete the pass on the bottom, possibly just on sheer pace alone. Whereas Grettenberger was able to go to the high side and complete the pass that way. So it's interesting to see as Gretberger gets a piece of the wall off turn 4. It's going to slow the momentum a bit. I don't think it's going to be enough to let Morrow catch up. But in the meantime, Brandon Domain dives to the bottom, takes the spot, or at least gets alongside the 71. This would be for the 4th position. On to turn number 2. Again, a drag race down the backstretch. Brett Guzik's going to try and follow the 13 through 3 and 4. Domain still not quite through. Doesn't have the pass yet. Still alongside, side-by-side battle here at the front straightaway. You see the run that Morrow gets out of the corner being in that high side. Domain has the pace, but who's way up the racetrack now? Domain's going to go by, and I think Guzik's now going to be the next one to attack. No, maybe not. Big-time momentum out of the corner once again for Brant Morrow. Really making that high lane work. Guzik gets on by, but Domain does not. So Brett picks up a couple of spots through that exchange. Moves him up into the 4th spot. Morrow now 5th. Domain maintaining that 6th position with PJ Cox looking to press forward as well. PJ's in 7th. Heath Snyder 8th. Brian Shepard 9th. Sean Roberts rounding out the top 10. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze continues to lead this race over Kevin Winker. Winker gets a small piece of the wall again out of turn number 2. Just curious how many times he's going to be able to get away with that before he really starts to sustain some damage to that number 42 Chevrolet. Derek Welch running back in the 18th spot. Remember, he was top 3 time in practice. He started 18th. He continues to run 18th. I don't know if Derek's trying to save some tire here for the end. They do have 3 tire sets available to them over the wall here this afternoon. Welch just running in the tire tracks of Ken Couch. Chris Watkins, he's going to lose a spot here. He's going to slip back into 18th. He's down from 3rd. Lost a ton of positions. Again, I don't know if this is just real aggressive tire strategy for Chris Watkins or if he had a problem out on the racetrack. It's hard to tell. It doesn't look like there's any damage on that machine. Watkins probably had an opportunity to go 3 wide there. If it were later in the race, we probably would have seen it, but 26 laps into this 125 lap event, I would not expect to see that, at least right now, especially back while you're running in the 18th spot on the 20 trucks. Brett Guzik has gotten himself up into the 3rd position here, 27 laps in. Still 1.65 seconds back from the top 2, but still pressing on. Last lap for Guzik at 25:39. Winker just a tick faster, a 25:35. And then Drew Blaze just a tick faster still, a 25:30. He ran that lap consistently the last 2 laps identically. Morrow is slipped back to P7. Snyder attacking on the 8th spot, but Brian Shepard in behind. He's actually taking a look to the inside with Chris Goins working his way up into the 10th spot. Remember, Goins did not qualify, started 19th here tonight. Goins in that number 41, that yellow, black, and white Popple machine. Goins goes to the bottom here underneath Brian Shepard. If he does this right, he could get 2 for 1. He doesn't do it right. Turn 4 has to lift a little bit here to make the corner. Tucks back in behind the 88. I think Goins does have a little bit more pace than Brian Shepard, at least for now. Might even be a little bit quicker than Snyder. Meanwhile, those two go at it. If I'm Chris Goins, though, I'm going to let the 29 and the 88 fight here for a couple of laps before I continue to make my charge forward. Let them get their tires heated up. Now they're coming up on Brant Morrow, so it's a 3-4 truck battle for position. And Morrow running in 5th for the time being, but Snyder pressing forward as Drew Blaze and Kevin Winker from the race lead hit pit lane. Blaze, this is his first stop of the day, same for Winker. Again, a 45% fuel load here tonight, so that certainly complicates things as far as how far you can go on a tank of fuel. It looks like about 30 to 33 laps. 4 tires and fuel for Drew Blaze. Winker, actually, did he stay on the racetrack? No, he just completed his pit stop, so Blaze came down after Winker did. Winker took 4 tires, so did Drew Blaze. Blaze with the faster pit stop, lightning quick, 14.35 seconds as Brian Shepard comes into the pits. Timmy Stubblefield to follow. Tristan Sykes says, we've got to have an intervention with Goins about his fear of the top side. Especially at a place like this, there's passes to be made doing that. Shepard cleanly into the pit box. Looks like Wright's going on. It should be a 4-tire stop. I can't imagine anyone's going to gamble on 2, at least this first pit stop. A little bit of cloud cover rolling in here at Iowa Speedway. So Brett Guzik is now taking over the top spot. Top 9 drivers have yet to pit, and as soon as I say that, Guzik hard on the brakes to get slowed down for pit lane. He's going to make his pit stop right now. So Heath Snyder is going to take over the race lead. Now it's Guzik, Grettenberger, Scott Beardmore, Sean Roberts up and down pit lane. Four tires and fuel for Brett Guzik, 14.68 seconds for the 04. So on the racetrack presently, the top 5 yet to make a pit stop. Winker on the move though with fresh tires. He's trying to get that lap back the hard way. While Drew Blaze dives it to the bottom. Winker was held up by the race leaders that are on the older tires and really opened the door for Drew Blaze. Still got to get everybody cycled through here with pit stops. Again, it looks like the top 6 or 7 here, the only trucks on the lead lap. So the last thing that we need right now is a caution. Pit lane, Mitchell Howell, the number 93. Howell running his breast cancer awareness paint scheme. Mitchell's paint scheme is multifaceted. It's obviously in the theme of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but also it says Save the Pumpkins on the back. So it's a little Halloween theme mixed in. Very nice. Brent Morrow down off of turn 4. He's going to make a pit stop. He should be the last driver to do so. Lap 41 for the 71 machine. Comes down as the race leader. Now, he's going to have fresher tires than everybody else, but I'm just concerned about the time gained by everybody else that made the pit stop prior to the 71. Able to make up track position on the racetrack with the fresher tires while Morrow was out there on the older rubber. See, things may change if we stay green. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Morrow, 4 tires and fuel as well for the 71. He drops the jack, 14.75 the time. He's back out in it. Kevin Winker back to the point. He's taking it back from Drew Blaze. Blaze has 1 lap newer tires. I don't see a huge difference happening there between the top 2 when it comes to tires. Blaze did show that he had a little bit more pace than the 42 after a handful of laps. We'll see if that continues. Brandon Domain running in the 3rd spot. Brett Guzik 4th. PJ Cox rounding out the top 5. Guzik taking a look down below the 13 here. Trying to take that 3rd spot away. Some contact. Jarrett Woodard was going to the outside of Brandon Domain.
Fuel whenever you can, but doing a really good job.
So Domain didn't slide up the racetrack. Guzik was expecting him to do so and got into the door of Brandon Domain. Both drivers having an issue here coming back to start finish. Let's get a look at it here. Once again, we watched it happen as it was live. You see the 79 of Woodard, big time run up top, surprised Domain. Domain came down a hair just to avoid contact with the 79, but Guzik goes up the racetrack, and how he just didn't get drilled, I have no idea. Let's back that one up again, see how close that was. We'll slow it down a bit. Again, Guzik coming around off of 4. Looks like Domain managed to save it. Guzik not really holding the brake here, starts to slide up into traffic. He might have clipped PJ Cox by a hair and may have pulled a decal off the right front of Chris Goins' truck. We'll back it up one more time. I want to watch it from the onboard with Chris Goins. Wow. Quick thinking for the number 41 of Chris Goins. Had to make a decision, left or right. 50-50 chance of wadding the truck up. He picked right, but he went left. Some drivers making a pit stop already here. About lap 51, 48. So while we're under the caution, we're going to jump out and get a break out of the way, folks. We'll be right back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back in Iowa Speedway, the restart just now happening. Green flag in the air. Winker with a big run. Great restart for the number 42. Brandon Domain a little slow on a turn 2. Drew Blaze is going to take a look to the inside. Very quickly take over that second spot. Grettenberger taking a look inside Chris Goins here for the position. Goins now working in the high lane. Grettenberger tucks back in behind. Goins switches it up, goes back down low. Brian Shepard was topside there. He maintains the 4th position. Goins 5th. Again, Goins started almost shotgun on the field here tonight in the 19th spot. Oh, and he gets turned off in turn number 4. Caution back on the speedway.
What do you got for temps there?
Don't know if there was contact. It looked like there may have been. Well, let's get a look at it from the blimp. We'll take a look and see how this one really happened. We'll slow it down. Again, Goins on the bottom, the yellow and black number 41. Brian Shepard up top. This in the middle of 3 and 4. Let's see exactly. Does he come up the track? Yeah, no contact from the rear here, but he does get into the 88, or does Grettenberger not check up? No, yeah, so Goins gets into the left door of the Brian Shepard machine, has to lift. Tries to protect the 88, but Grettenberger doesn't lift and gets into the right rear and sends the 41 around. Minimal damage to these trucks, but the caution still does come out. So caution number 2 on the Speedway here, 57 laps in from Iowa. We're going to jump out and take another quick break, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Iowa Speedway, wrapping up caution number 2, lap 61, approaching the halfway point. Going to get the restart at lap 62, and then the next time by will officially be past halfway. Race is moving right along. See if cautions breed cautions, if that theory is correct. Got a couple right in a row. If we get 3, we're going to know it's true as the pace car makes the hard left.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. True Blaze takes the high side. Grettenberger in the second spot. Then third and fourth, Brian Shepard and Derek Welch. Keep an eye on that 01 truck. Again, he had a poor qualifying effort, had a problem. He's back in the 18th, 19th spot here a while ago, but through strategies worked his way up into the top 5. He was fast in practice. Should be able to keep it there. Winker back in the 8th spot. Traffic up ahead of him, Snyder, Stubblefield, and PJ Cox. We got Freight Train in the chat saying, let's go Welch, let's go NTR. Carl Haynes cheering on Jared, Tower Operator. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Shauna. 4 wide? No, 3 wide, though. On to turn number 2. Snyder, Stubblefield, and Domain. I thought Winker was going to go to the bottom, sign his own death warrant. He thought better of it. Tucks in behind to Snyder. Now we're 4 wide off of turn 4. Winker going to the bottom on Heath Snyder. Stubblefield the second from the top, and Domain all the way up in the Larson line, and they get it straightened out, kinda. They're 3 wide through 1 and 2. Brett Guzik might have got a piece of the wall there, but we're going to keep an eye on this 3 wide battle here. Domain goes to the top. He's going to try to make the run on a PJ Cox. Cox in the middle now. Winker to the bottom. Stubblefield trying to chase it through. Big time bumps there up in the top side for Brandon Domain. You saw that truck bottoming out. Domain and Winker going around either side of Derek Welch. And Welch may have been out there a little longer on older tires. That is indeed the case. His pit stop came at lap 37, about 30 laps ago. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze continues to lead over the 57 of Kevin Grettenberger. You watch this battle here with Brandon Domain running in the 3rd spot. Didn't realize how close to the front of the field that action was. Those 3 and 4 wide battles were getting kind of crazy. Miraculous job by all involved to keep it clean. Winker fighting his way through here. He's looking for that 3rd spot again. He's got it for now, but not quite clear of Kevin Grettenberger. But Brandon Domain now challenging for the top spot. Drew Blaze under fire, the 13, making a look to the bottom through 1 and 2. Drew Blaze also stayed on the racetrack. His pit stop came under the green flag at lap 31. Domain took tires, looks like, yes indeed, lap 57. So he's going to have a lot more pace. Drew's going to have his hands full here on this run, but it'll all work out in the end because he'll have an extra set when he needs it. Checking in on Chris Goins once again. Remember, he was spun around. That was our caution as of recently. The 41 now back in the 13th spot even after that incident. Again, minimal damage, if any, to the 41. He's going to be able to continue on and still has a shot at this thing. He's just got his work cut out for him as he works to the inside of PJ Cox through turns 1 and 2. Domain now still out in front over Kevin Winker as Winker has jumped up into that 2nd spot. Grettenberger going to try and take the position from Drew Blaze as well as Blaze remains topside. Brett Guzik's coming into the picture. So is the 66 of Sean Roberts and Timmy Stubblefield. Brett goes to the bottom. Takes a couple of positions away. Let's see if Drew can fight back on the top side. Nope. Slide way up the racetrack to block the run is Brett Guzik. I gotta say, Guzik is fast. We know that, but he's got pretty good racetrack awareness as well as to who is where, knowing what's going to happen, and he knew Drew Blaze was in that high side, and then there would be a run coming, and he didn't want to take the chance of having to continue to fight with the one. Meanwhile, Guzik now is starting to drive away from Drew Blaze. Guzik in the third spot. Top three, it's Domain, Winker, and Guzik. Injury attorneys. "75 laps in here from Iowa Speedway. Just over 50 laps remain. We're going to go take an HBR TV side-by-side break. We'll be back after this. Stay with us. You won't miss a moment. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Iowa Speedway, lap 84 goes up on the board of 125. Brandon Domain continues to lead, now over Brett Guzik, as Guzik is trying to take the second spot from Kevin Winker. These drivers all on similar tire strategies. All made their pit stops at lap 57 under the caution flag. That's the same situation for everybody back to P6. Top three under a blanket in formation across the stripe. Domain, Guzik, and Winker, your top three. Sean Roberts running fourth. Goins has battled back into the fifth position. It's Grettenberger exiting pit lane. I've got to say it. I mean, there's really no clear dominant truck out here tonight. I know we saw a lot of pace out of Drew Blaze. We've seen Guzik as he takes the lead here. He's fast. Brandon Domain, Kevin Winker, they've been quick, but their strategies abound here. Again, Chris Goins started from the rear. He's worked his way back into the top 5. He's also been spun out backwards once, still running in the top 5. We have pit stops still to be worried about later on, so that's going to be an issue. Strategy is going to come into play. It's almost impossible to pick a clear winner right now, which is good. 87 laps in, though, we're going to start to see some pit stops soon. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody in the stream chat once again. This Lonestar Racing League has been fantastic when it comes to the stream chat. You guys are all in here shooting the bull, chatting it up. I love it. There's a lot of you guys in there. I do appreciate it. But while we've got your attention, if you're in the stream chat, really any of you watching, just jump over to the YouTube and click the like button on the stream. It helps more than you really know. It helps push the videos to a wider viewing audience. It helps us here at the channel, and it also helps Lonestar Racing. So if you can just click that like button while you're here watching, it's free. It doesn't cost a penny. You don't get signed up for any kind of crazy subscriptions or anything weird like that. Just help us out. We do appreciate it. So it looks like Grettenberger is going to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Might have been 2 laps down. We'll see how that cycles out when he gets back to the line. But Grettenberger made a pit stop here, lap 82. As did a few other drivers, Derek Welch and Brent Morrow, 84 and 85 respectively. Brian Shepard was lap 77, so was Drew Blaze. So Drew's effectively lapped down for the time being, but on fresher tires. And more pit stops to happen here before this one's all said and done. So crossed fingers here that we don't get a caution in the middle of the green flag pit cycle, but stranger things have happened. Watching the battle here for the top 10. Jared Haynes has it, number 89 for at least the time being. He's up into the 9th spot now as Heath Snyder jumps into the 10th position. Haynes taking the spot from, it looks like, no, I want to say Brian Shepard, but that's not the case either. Got that S4 guy in the stream chat. Trucks at Iowa, amazing combo. It really is a great combination. Real curious to see how the Cup Series runs here. Again, coming into the schedule next year, the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series coming to Iowa for the first time. Green flag pit stops underway. Timmy Stubblefield, Jarrett Woodard. Woodard leaving the pit lane. Stubblefield as well. PJ Cox now makes his way down for his pit service. And I think these guys can make it to the end. I'm pretty sure. I think it was 33 laps was the fuel distance, the fuel window, 30 to 33, depending on how well you can save. So it looks like PJ is going to be good to go here. Right side's in the air. He's going to take tires likely for... Yep, Jack goes up the driver's side here. Drops the jack. PJ Cox down and away. Chris Goins off of turn 4. He's going to hit the pit lane as well. Jonathan Arnn, was Drew Blaze the first to pit? First of all, Jonathan, you should be in this race. But second answer to your question, Derek Welch, he pit 84. Drew Blaze, he pitted 77 with Brian Shepard. So Drew Blaze and Brian Shepard both in the pits first on this cycle at lap 77. Katie Klein says, should have had Millet as a fill-in tonight. Chris Goins down and away. 14.53 seconds to pit stop for the 41. A quick stop for Chris Goins. Make a quick note, speaking of Chris Goins, the Noble Racing Series kicking off here again this Sunday night on HBR TV. Tune in, I think it's about 8:30 Eastern is the go live time here at HBR TV. It's going to be the Gen 4 Cup Car, race number 1 from Daytona. Jonathan Arndt says, my son had a band concert, family first. I can't fault you for that one, sir. Chris Goins rejoins in the 12th position. He should move his way back through as this field cycles through their green flag pit stops. Goins 12th, 1 lap down, but there's only 8 trucks on the lead lap. It's going to shrink now to 7 as Guzik comes to pit lane as well. Finishes up his pit work. Good stop, 1462. Not a great year, but a good pit stop. Matt Sisler in the stream chat. Hello all, I'm Steve. Looking forward to Sunday. I'll be in the number 93. So you Matt Sisler fans, he's running the Noble Racing Series as well, so tune in for that. Dan Storm, your current race leader, the number 81 machine, his first lap sled here today. Again, the top 3 drivers making their pit stops at about lap 57, 58 as Storm pulls off the racetrack. It's going to give the lead to the 29 of Snyder. Jared Haynes is going to pull off as well and hit pit lane. Mitchell Howell is in the pits. Scott Beardmore just leaving the pits. 26 laps to go from Iowa Speedway. In what is likely the final round of pit stops under the green flag here tonight. Drivers had 3 sets of tires ready for their use over the pit wall tonight. Be curious to see if anybody's got an extra set laying there just waiting for that final caution to come out late. But not too late. It's the funny thing about these tire strategies, you really have to have things fall your way when it comes to the caution. If you're trying to save a set for that occasion, yes, you want it to come out late in the race, but you don't want it to come out with 3 to go. And if you're the only guy with tires in pit lane, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Yeah, you're going to be lightning fast compared to everybody else, but you're going to restart like 17th. Even if you pass 10 cars, it's still not going to be a good day. Snyder, 4 tires and fuel. He's out, 1487. A lot of sub 15-second stops here tonight in Iowa. Pit crews are on point this evening. Katie Klein says, Jonathan Arndt and me and my son are at the Roval Race visiting race shops for his fall break. Wait a minute. I thought Jonathan Arndt was at a concert. Now I'm confused. Someone's in trouble. Drew Blaze has taken over the race lead now that the pit cycle has worked its way through. Blaze with 3.6 seconds over Brian Shepard. Remember, those drivers, the first ones to pit. And we've talked about it a lot. Again, everybody knows, not everybody, but a lot of people know I'm a road course guy, and the strategy of old, at least on the stock car side on road courses, used to be the first one to pit last. And no, we're not on a road course here. We are at Iowa Speedway. That final pit stop, it seems that being the first ones to pit last has given these drivers an advantage. As Drew Blaze, Brian Shepard were the first drivers to pit for their last time, and they're running 1 and 2 with 22 laps to go. Kevin Winker made his pit stop at lap 93. Also for 4 tires. Now I know for certain that Drew Blaze and Drew Blaze and Brian Shepard both have a set of tires over the wall because they've only been in their pit stall twice today. Everybody else, it looks like 3 and maybe 4 times. Derek Welch looks like 2 stops as well, so he's got another set available if the caution were to come out in the next, I don't know, say 15 laps or so. You don't want to go too long, but Winker and Brett Guzik battling now. This would be for the 2nd position. Winker topside, the number 42. Guzik in that Battleship gray Toyota Tundra. Still no logos on the side of that thing. Brandon Domain running back in the 4 spot. Drew Blaze hits pit lane. Forget the caution. He's coming now. Once again, it was about 30 laps since he was down pit lane last. Brian Shepard's going to come with him. So Brett Guzik's going to take over the top spot for now. Winker settles in behind, 4/10 behind the 04. Drew Blaze, right side tires in the air. Does he go for 2? We've seen Drew do that in the past. That 2-tire stop for the 1 of Drew Blaze. He's going to try and get the track position this way. See how it pays off. Brian Shepard did the same, right side tires. 17 laps to go. We'll see how it pays off. Brett Guzik, your race leader, I think he's good to go to the end. I think just about everybody now good to go to the end. The last 2 holdouts were Drew Blaze and Brian Shepard as they come down here lap 107. Kevin Winker maintaining that 2nd spot. Brandon Domain 3rd. And Chris Goins just not giving up the fight. Up into the 4th position. Tim Stubblefield, last truck on the lead lap presently in the 13th position. No challengers behind and no prey out in front. Mitchell Howell didn't have a good feeling about tonight, but he's 1 position back from the top 10. Having a strong run here tonight for the number 93. Derek Welch in some traffic, running in the 10th spot, just a truck or 2 off the back bumper of the 29 of Heath Snyder. Ken Couch in the 17th spot, just behind Derek, not on the lead lap. Guzik still out in front now, extending his race lead over 2nd place Kevin Winker. But Winker, he's got his hands full with Brandon Domain all over the tailgate of that number 42 machine. Domain drops it down to the inside, was alongside for a moment, a little loose on corner exit, has to gather it up. Takes it back to the bottom. Winker stays on the high side. Yeah, Winker's still using that high lane. He just gets a great run out of the corners. Carry that speed down the straightaway. Nine laps to go from Iowa Speedway. Brett Guzik out in front. 1 1/4 seconds over this battle we watch now for the 2nd position. Kevin Winker, Brandon Domain. Domain keeps working that low lane. Winker's defending from the top side. Drew Blaze and Brian Shepard made a pit stop at lap 107, their final of the day. It's caught themselves a lap down through that pit cycle. I don't know if they just timed it wrong or what the situation is. I know that they didn't have an on-track incident, so the pit stop alone, the reason Blaze and Shepard not on the lead lap. They pit again, lap 77 and then lap 107. Really needed the caution to come out for it to work out for them. It didn't happen. So we've got just about 6 laps to go. Still watching this battle for the 2nd position. Winker and Domain going at it. This cloud cover sets in. It's going to speed this track up just a touch. I think Drew Blaze might have just got the wall there on exit. Had to chase it up the racetrack. Just slightly kissed it. Jared Haynes running back in the 15th position. Chris Gones still 4th. 5 laps to go from Iowa. Big time loose out of turn 4 is Brandon Domain. He was battling hard to take that second spot from Kevin Winker, still to no avail. Less than 4 laps to go. I don't know if Brandon's going to have enough to do it now. He's got some extra heat in the tires compared to that 42 machine. No time to cool him down, really, and he's about 5 truck lengths off the tailgate of Winker as Drew Blaze with fresher rubber is going to go to the bottom here and take those positions away on the racetrack, but not in the timing tower. Again, Drew Blaze not on the lead lap currently. Brett Guzik running away from it here, 1.7 seconds, 2.5 laps to go for the race leader, the 04 of Brett Guzik as he works out of turn 2. Guzik drops below here. Putting a lap on the 92 is Stubblefield. Going to come into Jarrett Woodard, sorry. The 79 machine's next. Guzik just needs to work through some of this lap traffic. Get through cleanly. White flag this time by. Last lap for Brett Guzik. Grab another checkered flag. Uncontested now, 2 seconds. The race lead for Brett Guzik. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. The checkered flag is waving. Brett Guzik, a strong and smart run to the finish line. He wins Iowa Speedway 125, presented by Howell Graphics. Brett Guzik, your race winner. Kevin Winker finishes out second. And Chris Gones looks like he actually picks up position number 3 on the day. Strong run for the 41. Brett Guzik is very, very gentle on his equipment. I think he does his burnouts in 3rd gear. Ah, there we go. Well, with that, we're going to step aside, get our final break out of the way, and have our top 3 in the booth after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Iowa Speedway for the Howell Graphics Iowa Speedway 125. Race over. Brett Guzik with the race win. Let's pull the driver of the 04 up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our winner. Brett Guzik and Steve in the HBR TV booth. You with us?
Yeah, I've got you.
Brett, congratulations, man. I don't know how you do it at some of these places. You come out here and your lights out fast, and then other places it's like, oh, we're going to start, maybe outside the top 10 and just whittle our way towards the front. You did just that here tonight. Walk us through the strategy. Was qualifying just not your cup of tea, or was there a problem? What did we miss?
Apparently I can't run, a lap to save my life, at least one of them. And then, I was kind of banking on the long green flag runs, just trying to manage the front tires a bit. It seemed like if you could do that and manipulate all the lines on the track in a way that keeps your car free in any way, then you'll be pretty good at the end of the run, and that's kind of how it went. Had a few tricks up my sleeve, I feel like, that I don't think many people were capitalizing on as far as just driving the truck and everything. But we also had some events there kind of in the middle of the run that I didn't necessarily plan on happening, and kind of put us behind the 8 ball, but we maintained our focus, and the strategy worked out in our favor.
Well, kind of a spin and win. Let's talk about that. There was an incident, I think it was with you and Brandon Domain. It was effectively a 3-wide issue, and I don't think you or Brandon both realized that the 79 truck was making the move that he was making. He had a hell of a run into the corner, and it surprised Domain. He came down a bit, and then you guys made contact. Did you see the 79 making that move at all?
I didn't really at all. I was kind of I felt like there was the second or two there that I kind of blanked out a little bit. I didn't know exactly what happened. So I didn't know if someone got loose above me and turned down or whatever happened, but I guess I'll end up looking at the stream, afterwards and checking it out. But didn't necessarily plan on it. But when we had that caution, it put us right on the number to be able to make it all the way on one stop of fuel. And regardless if we had that next caution or not, we were gonna try to do it on one stop. So it just kind of worked in our favor a little bit.
Well, spin and win. You come back and take the checkered flag here at Iowa. You got lucky tonight, but how about some luck next week, since we are going to Sin City? Las Vegas Motor Speedway on tap. How do you feel about your shot there? Make it 2 in a row.
I feel all right. I feel like since these trucks are very downforce heavy, that there's going to be a lot of trucks very close to each other. It might be a few more wrecks than normal. We're just going to have to be patient and, hopefully end up at the front at the end of that thing.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, Brett. Again, congratulations on an awesome win here tonight. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Really just like to thank you guys for putting this on, Lonestar and HBR TV for broadcasting each week. You do a hell of a job, and that's about it.
All right, Brett. Well, thanks for talking to us, man, and good luck at Vegas.
All right, thanks.
Brett Guzik, your race winner here at Iowa Speedway. Next, we're going to pull the runner-up, the 42 of Kevin Winker. He put it on the pole here tonight, finishes runner-up. Missed it by that much. We'll bring K-Dub up into the booth, get a word with our runner-up. Kevin Winker, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Kevin, congratulations, man. A strong run in qualifying. You came up 1 short in the race. Wasn't for a lack of trying. You had your hands full a lot of tonight. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, obviously I qualified on pole, so that's always, key track position. And then I was trying to do a 3-stop race no matter what. Then that caution came out and I pitted there. But anyways, getting back to my race. Yeah, I was just trying to be up front, trying to conserve tires. I know the high line's kind of more the preferred line here because it's so hard to pass at the bottom. Me and Blaze there had a nice battle there at the beginning of the race, and then right at the end, he just saved his tires better than I can't save my tires very much, so he just got around me there. But strong effort tonight by the 42 machine.
Certainly a good run tonight at Iowa Speedway. Next week we switch it up. Similar shape racetrack, but certainly much bigger, much faster. Las Vegas Motor Speedway on tap. How do you feel about your chances next week?
That's kind of more like point track. I mean, not really point track, but the trucks are obviously be close together because they're downforce dependent and everything, so it's gonna be more pack racing, and things probably happen quicker, obviously, and wrecks and everything, so just gotta keep the nose clean, and then strategy is always out there, so we'll go out there and give our best shot and see what we can do.
All right, Kevin. Well, again, an awesome run here tonight. Pole position, runner-up finish. Who do you want to thank?
First, I'm going to shout out to my sponsor, Bruce Milberger, who works Custom Homes, coming board sponsoring me in all my leagues. Can't thank him enough. Him and his wife are watching tonight, so shout out to both them for tuning in. Second, Waker Nation, my girlfriend Shauna, Brett, Nicole, Justin, Brandon, Dylan, all them guys are in it to come out and support me. Can't thank them enough. Derek for allowing me on the team this year, so big shout out to him. I know him and Timmy didn't get to finish they wanted, but shout out to them guys. Nate Cogdale at Sonic Graphics Design for the paint. Need paints, check them out. All the people put the league on, and then you for the broadcast. We appreciate it.
Well, we certainly appreciate the kind words, Kevin, and you can tell Derek that next time he needs to use all of his tire sets, he'll have a little bit better finish than 10th.
Yeah, he was banking on a caution, but I told him about 5 to go. I said, I don't think you'll get one, buddy.
Yeah, he called himself out at the end. He was not too pleased about it, but still a solid run for the teammate, the 0-1 of Derek Welch. And once again, Kevin, congratulations on a runner-up, and thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Kevin Winker, your runner-up here at Iowa. We're going to talk to Chris Goins next. This guy just would not go away. Started at the back of the pack, got spun, had to work his way back up into the front of the pack, and here he is with a third-place finish. Chris Goins, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You with us?
Hey, Steve. Yeah, I got you.
Chris, congratulations, man. Wow, what a hellacious race. I mean, you started at the back. You didn't even bother to qualify. I don't even know what the decision process was for that, but start 19th, and before you know it, you're battling there in the top 5, and, well, next thing you know it, you're sideways. Walk us through that incident, and then walk us through working your way back up in for a top 3 finish.
Well, I actually did try to qualify. Thank goodness you just missed me wrecking off of 4 coming to the white flag. I slid across the line, so lap didn't count, and the next one wouldn't count either. So get start in the back. Just fought way through some traffic there. And then after that caution, we were all kind of bunched back up. Me and I think it was the 88 that was outside. We just kind of almost met. I saw him out there. I was getting close. We never made contact, but I rolled out of the throttle, and Kevin didn't have any time to react. I mean, that's just a racing deal. And he barely touched me. I had no damage when I pitted, so I just slid to the inside and said, you know what, we're gonna have to start this over again at the halfway point. Might as well take some fresh tires, and luckily that strategy kind of worked out for us.
Well, strategy and pace, it seems like both of those were in your favor here tonight. What is it about Iowa Speedway that kind of suits your driving style?
The multiple grooves. I think it definitely gets really hot too, and tends to chew up some tire. And typically I look for like long run pace. So you'll never see me up there out dueling anybody for 10 laps or anything like that, but give me 30, 35 laps, and hopefully I can track them back down. So I like that the track burns up some tires. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes with some of the tracks that don't necessarily burn up the tire.
Well, next week it's Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I think that track's got some age to it. We expect tire strategy to come into play there.
Possibly. That's kind of one of those tracks where, early on and about halfway through the run, all the trucks are kind of bunched up together, and just kind of depending on where you pick your moves and how much you get stuck in one spot, it can burn up the tires. So I think we have a good shot to be able to give and take there and save some tires for the long run if it stays green.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it, Chris. Again, a nice job here tonight. Way to battle back, finish in P3. Hard charger, if there is one, it goes to you, certainly. But anyone you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I want to shout out to Popple, Stivers Automotive Group, Creek Carriers, you over here at HBR TV for putting this on. You guys do a great job. I'd like to go back and watch these every week. The LSR guys for putting this league on. We always have a good time over here, and run a pretty clean event. So my guys over at Right Turn Racing, Jesse Redding and Chris Elliott, and we'll just see you next week, hopefully.
All right, Chris, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in Vegas.
Thanks, Steve. Take care.
Chris Goins, your third place finisher here at Iowa Speedway. That's going to wrap up our top 3 interviews. Let's take a look at the official race results before we get too far down the line. Of course, Brett Guzik, Kevin Winker, Chris Goins, your top 3. Brandon Domain was a hard-fought P4. Sean Roberts finishes in the 5th position. 6th goes to Chris Watkins. 7th, PJ Cox. Dan Storm was 8th with a top 10. Solid run for the 81. Heath Snyder was 9th. Derek Welch 10th with an extra set still over the wall. What could have been for the 01. Mitchell Howell was Fearing Tonight. Just came up one shy of a top 10 in the 11th spot. Jarrett Woodard was 12th. Timmy Stubblefield, 13th. 14th was Drew Blaze. Brian Shepard, 15th. 16th went to Jared Haynes. Brant Morrow was 17th. Kevin Grettenberger finishes in the 18th position. 19th place finisher was Ken Couch. And Scott Beardmore wraps up in the 20th position, 2 laps down. It's going to wrap it up for our coverage here from Iowa Speedway. Thank you guys all for tuning in. As I said earlier, please like, follow, share, subscribe. Help us out there, youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. Also check out the website, hbrtv1.com. I'm Steve Singer with HBRTV, congratulating Brett Guzik on winning the Holographics Iowa Speedway 125. We'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching.